Ring-a-ling-a-ling-ding-ding. You're a lesbian. Howdy hole, and welcome back to Hole Chat, a boy love and girl love podcast with a thing for music puns. I'm your host, Chuck, and with me is the only person I let ring my bell, Keelz.
Hello. Another lesbian story. Is it more maids?
No, we're done with maids finally.
Oh, good.
Maids is canceled.
I mean, I don't mind maids. Like, everyone's got a fetish. Don't mind them at all.
Yeah. Are you insinuating that I have a fetish for maids?
Yes.
Bro.
Love of my life.
You're the one that would listen to Edwardian porn for hours on end.
I would.
If anybody's got a maid fetish, it's you.
Look, I already know I'm the one with the maid fetish. But
you're just hoping that I've developed it alongside of you?
Yeah, and like any fetishist, I'm looking to put blame on someone else.
What?
It's the truth. I can't let people know of my doc fetish, so I must act like I'm against it. That's why we have all these, like, pretentious, like, politicians trying to ban gay marriages.
You know?
Yeah. I can be smart. Look at me.
No, this time, I talked before about the difficulty of being able to find a lesbian comic that hit, like, a good middle ground, instead of being on the side of, I would bend time and space for you, and the I will kiss you just once under the sycamore tree. I want something kind of in the middle of that.
Yeah, or something that's like crazy toxic and it's like,
yes. This is just that kind of middle ground. Like the universe heard my lamentations and gave me something that was not absolutely insane for once.
Mm-hmm. Is this that new one you were reading?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I kept talking about this one and being like, oh, this is so cute. Oh, this didn't go the way I thought it would. This actually went pretty well. So.
No, like, this one was fun to watch you read because you would just get more and more excited. Because, like, I'm sorry, there's something really nice about an average love story in Yuri's because you don't get them. And same with any women-loving women story. There's a lot of, like, movies out there that you're just like, wow, my heart hurts. This sucks.
Nobody dies.
Yeah.
Nobody gets cast out of their home.
No one winds up divorced because my wife cheated on me with a man.
Yeah, like, things are just banger after banger. There's some issues, but it's nothing crazy. Like, it's also not, like, so chaste and innocent that it's, like, two high school girls, like, holding hands for the first time. So we're not doing that either. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate this for what it is. It's like an older, more relatable kind of chill situation. So this is what I needed.
I'm ready.
Especially after all these maids. So wanted to cover Ring My Bell, which is a 2019 comic by Yeongol, and it was her very first serialized comic.
That's nice. 2019. That's a pretty recent, considering.
Recent. I mean, a lot of the stories I've covered have been kind of in that time period too.
Oh, I thought the other lesbian stories were a little older.
No, because actually Patience and Esther was a 2020 release.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so I've gone kind of all around in the last, like, pre-pandemic, right at pandemic, and then, here.
Cool.
So,
don't know where I got my thoughts from, but that's just where.
You just, sometimes you reach up and grab one.
That's true.
So. Yeah, this is definitely a comic that I think is going to be super chill, and I hope you enjoy it as we go into it.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so our comic starts out with Mai Sohn admiring the fruits of her labor, her self-published webcomic. She's been working on it for 3 months so far, with pretty good reception. The comic is based on her life with her girlfriend. It's not a smash hit, but it's doing quite well.
And this is the comic?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're not is it like doing Inception a little bit? This is actually about the current author's girlfriend?
No, so it's not the author of the whole manhwa drawing about her life. It is the character in the manhwa is drawing about her own life.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're not doing 3 layers of Inception.
I was just checking, because, like, I've got one of those, and I like it.
I do know what you're talking about. No, we're not doing that. We're doing...
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that one, but at the same time, I'm like, God damn, this is going to be hard to It's hard. It's a hard story to
Yeah. No, so the character Mai, separate from the author,
Okay.
is writing her own comic about her life.
Got it.
Yes. Mai leans back from her computer, looking pleased, even though one of the most recent comments reads, "Don't let these characters get together."
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, girl. You in a bad relationship.
It's rough out there for creators and also, crazy. Yeah.
That's some girl going, "Oh no, girl. Don't get in that relationship." Uh-oh. That's bad. Is it just one comment or are there others?
It was just one comment that we saw. We saw one comment being like, "Oh my god, I love these." And then the next comment underneath was like, "Don't let these two characters get together."
Uh-oh. That's a red flag. That's a warning. That's a warning from the universe.
The aforementioned girlfriend calls for her from their bed. Like, "Babe, why are you still up? Come to bed. I can't sleep without you." Mai comes over and kisses her forehead and promises she'll finish up her work quickly and join her in bed. Mai's computer dings, alerting her to a new email. She jokes that it must be her first fan letter. Her girlfriend asks if she's getting too ahead of herself. Again. Still, who could be emailing her at this late hour? It's a motherfucking publishing deal. Let's fucking go.
Nice.
So, a real publishing deal from a well-known company, and it's all for her. Finally, people can stop pressuring her about what to do after she graduates. Obviously, her answer to this is yes and hell yes. She's taking the deal.
Yeah, because she's what? Is she a fresh graduate student, too?
She is like 24, 25. She's 25. Yeah, Mai's 25, and so she's, because of the way that Korean schooling is, it's not uncommon to still be in school in your mid-20s. Like, I know here it's like, bachelor's degree, 18 to 22 is kind of the thing. But oftentimes they'll take gap years, or like their majors are structured differently, or they'll take a year to like do some sort of on-the-job training or whatever. So
the service.
Yeah, military service for men. So like, it's not uncommon to be 25 and a senior.
Yeah.
And so that's where she's at. Yeah.
Do women have a military service?
They do not.
Okay.
So if you...
I've seen... Okay, so the reason I asked, because I saw a comic where the women were going to military service, and I was like, I didn't think they did that.
So they don't, and it's why... I read a lot of college-era mangas at this point, and you will see the women being, like, 23 and graduating, and then their male counterparts are actually, like, 26 and graduating or something like that. Because you have a built-in, like, 2-year gap.
Yeah.
And so your colleagues end up being your oppas at the same time. It's it's interesting how that works out. But yeah, so she's 25, finishing up college at this point. So this is super exciting for her. No, I mean, it's exciting no matter what age you are, but especially exciting for her. Like, now I don't need to make a plan after graduation. I'm going to be a comic artist. Hell yes.
Great.
So once her reply is sent, she dives into bed, wrapping her girlfriend up into her arms. Mai thanks her profusely, promising to take her out and buy her the best food to eat. After all, none of this would be possible without her loving girlfriend's support and encouragement. What?
I'm just looking at your face. I don't know what's going to happen.
What do you mean?
But you judging, so I know it's going to be bad.
Cut to her first meeting with her brand new producer, Myung-hee-do. Mai is intimidated, to say the least, even as this woman is gushing over her comic.
Nice.
Miss Do is a ground floor supporter and pushed her higher-ups to sign Mai, which is terrific news. Terrifically wonderful and embarrassing news. Which I get, because, like, there's sometimes when you get too much praise from someone important that you can't handle it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that very much is the situation here, is she's very flustered by all this direct attention. And then also the pressure of, oh, this woman seems very nice, but she's also in charge of, like, taking me to task. And I get it. Sometimes people are very nice in the way that they put pressure on you.
Yeah.
As much as she's a fan, Miss Doe's surprised that Mai's girlfriend would agree to something like this, a semi-autobiographical comic. Well, I mean, she's Mai's rock. She's the one who encouraged her to do this, and they have great boundaries when it comes to what information should be shared. She even hurried her out the door this morning to make sure she made this meeting on time. She is such a good girlfriend.
Again, if the listeners could see your face.
Mai's on cloud 9 after the meeting. Nothing could kill her good mood. Except for her girlfriend moving out and breaking up with her. Which is exactly what she returns home to.
Is she given a reason why?
You'll see.
Oh, I'm jumping the gun.
So,
Like, sorry, I'm used, like, as an actual gay person, hair flip, I'm used to hearing the story of people coming home and their partner just fucking left them. And there's no reason at first. They just ran away instead of, like, broke off with them cleanly. Which, like, I'm very curious as to why that seems to happen in queer relationships a lot, and if that was learned behavior from, like, a previously bad straight relationship they had before, or if it was just, like, another previously bad queer relationship. Because, again, the amount of queer friends that I have in my real life who come home and their significant other just left without an explanation.
Yeah. I don't know.
Or is in the middle of leaving, and it's just like, what's going on there?
I have no idea. But...
We have, like, move-in ready lesbians and also move-out ready lesbians.
Well, that's the point, is you always have the U-Haul ready to go in either direction, you know?
Yeah.
Comes with the territory.
Yeah. So I'm just very curious as to, like, what it is that makes people want to cut and run real quick, specifically in a queer relationship, because I just happen to hear about it more in queer relationships.
I don't know. That should be studied, though. But not in the way, like, not like that Netflix show where they got all the lesbians together and were like, the ultimatum. Not like the ultimatum where they're like, hey, we need all you lesbians together to decide if you're gonna date and get married or not. We're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Well, so why is she leaving, and for what? And they just exchanged I love yous that morning, and now they're over? Yeah, actually. Her girlfriend hands back the necklace Mai gave her and wishes her luck on her webcomic before she grabs her suitcase and fucks off forever.
Is this all we get of the breakup? Because I know this sometimes happens in real life, but
The breakup comes back into focus later. This is all you get at the beginning. It's just, bye, bitch.
God.
Rihanna wink.
It's always the worst when, like, you feel blindsided. Like, there's no warning signs. Like, we just made love last night. We just celebrated a victory. And now this? Like, it's always crazy. That's the craziest breakup to me.
Yeah, so, what a roller coaster of a day. She achieved one of her greatest dreams and was immediately dragged down into a hell with no girlfriend. Stellar.
Oh, my plot device. She has no muse to write about now.
Well, yeah, actually, that is one of the issues she's going to be having, for sure.
Yeah, I figured.
While she's on the floor lamenting her new reality, a young woman steps out of the neighboring apartment and into the hallway, holding a stack of papers. She stutters something about not having seen anything, which makes it entirely obvious that she saw everything. But as she continues to proclaim her uninvolvement, a single sheet of paper slips from the stack in her arms and floats down to land right in front of Mai. It's a flyer. An anti-gay flyer.
Oh, Lord.
Insult meet injury.
Oh, Lord, man. Oh, man. There's a gay basher next door, and you just had a gay breakup.
She's your next door neighbor. Congratulations.
This is a sitcom.
Mm-hmm. Later, Mai is lamenting the trajectory of her life at her friend, Soo-hee-oh's cafe. Like any good friend, Soo-hee is keeping her cup full while giving her an earful about how fucking terrible of a girlfriend Ji-won-go was.
I want evidence. Is there some shit we're missing? Was she a terrible girlfriend?
I'm about to tell you at least a little bit now.
Yes.
Yeah, so this wasn't even the first time that Ji-won has ditched Mai and gone no contact. It's the 5th time.
Mai.
Yeah.
Mai.
Homegirl's got a pattern.
Mai, you're dumb.
On top of that, Ji-won's got a jealous streak a mile wide, and that led her to make a scene at Soo-hee's cafe, resulting in some property damage. Ji-won is trash.
Mai, you're lucky you still got a friend. Holy shit. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, if your bitch comes in here and wrecks my place of business, you're either going to have one less girlfriend or one less friend.
Yeah.
Like, that ain't cool.
Luckily, Soo-hee is a real one, so it's been okay.
Luckily, Soo-hee decided that she wasn't going to let this, like, master manipulator win.
Yeah.
Because I might have left your ass, you dumb shit.
Yeah. So, Mai's still a bit hung up, which is to be expected. But she's also stuck in the fact that she's living next to a homophobe.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
What a thing to find out.
Yeah, and let me show you some of the
flyer.
clips. So I will say, if you say this feels like a sitcom, absolutely it does, because it's super
drawn
silly.
like a sitcom.
The drawings are super silly. I really like it. So
it's
this was
very cute.
Her like getting her.
I want to see her girlfriend that dumped her. I'm very curious.
I will show you her as well. But I just wanted to show like lots of pictures of Mai, because she's
Mai's very cute. She kind of looks like Korean Hermione Granger.
A little bit. Actually, yeah. This is a side profile of her
girlfriend.
Shit ass girlfriend, yeah.
She's not even attractive.
No, she's not especially cute. She's a bit tomboyish, but like derogatory.
I need to see her full on front. She just looks like a slimy, gross person right now.
Yeah, and then this is Suki, her friend.
Suki's cute.
Suki's very charming.
Has like an older friend look. You know who Ji-won made me think of? If only there was someone left to love you. You know, like that guy from Frozen.
Yeah.
The way she was holding her face felt very much like, if only someone loved you.
Yeah, that is kind of the vibe. You're not wrong, honestly. She wasn't nice about it. But we gotta get back to the homophobe. So, speaking of the homophobe, she is in her own hell right now. Chungyeon Lee had been late getting that stack of flyers to the folks who ordered them, so she was in a rush, trying to leave her apartment before coming upon a scene straight out of a gay K-drama. It was her first time seeing lesbians in real life, and was the absolute worst way and worst time to see it. Of course she couldn't rush past them holding on to anti-gay flyers, so Chungyeon tried to wait until things had died down, but of course she failed, and ended up exposing her poor queer neighbor to hate rhetoric.
Jesus Christ. The only way that this might make it better to me is if, like, she was taking those flyers down, and so it's a huge misunderstanding. Because, holy shit.
Hours later, Chungyeon still feels like she should be smited on the spot.
A little bit.
Her mood is slightly buoyed by her best friend, Chanmi, who is super thankful to her for getting the flyers printed on time. But you know, it's also that the flyers got printed at all.
That's awful.
Shit's complicated. Yeah, because she feels terrible that this is what she got printed, but she did it for her bestie. But then it's like, why would my bestie need these? Who's this for?
You have a bad bestie. No surprise there. If you got anyone who's going to do some hate speech like that, you got a bad bestie.
I would wait.
Nah.
Okay.
Bad bestie.
Alright.
She's judged. I'm judge, jury, executioner, and this girl's gone.
Okay. So that evening finds Chungyeon still anxious about that afternoon and laden with one single beer. She bought it to calm her nerves, but she probably won't be able to finish it. Because it's like very well established. She can't drink well, and she doesn't even really like drinking.
That's fine. Like, this girl who... I'm not... By the way, I'm not judging the girl who printed this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm judging her bestie. Because the girl who printed her stuff... You should have, like, saw what it was and just decided not to go through with it, honestly.
Yeah, this is my imagining...
Who she's living next to.
Like, yeah, who she's living next to. It's like...
yeah,
like,
because,
how we'll judge you.
that's every gay person's fear when you find out, like, when you hear your neighbor say something anti-queer, you know, anything slanderous, you're just like, oh, no. What kind of Cheeto-loving person is this?
But then here's Chungyeon still thinking about it that afternoon.
Yeah.
Just the screaming inside.
Yeah. Awful. Is the girl hugging her the one who wanted the anti-gay?
Yes, that's Chanmi, her bestie.
Okay, can I just say, she looks like she'd hate gay people.
You're not wrong.
She's got a tucked-in shirt, her haircut. It's that whole, like, I'm a good Catholic girl in an A-line skirt look. She looks like she'd hate gay people.
You are not wrong about a lot of the assumptions that you've made so far.
Girl, I know, I was in religion, girl. I got it.
Yeah, you're on the way already. So, Chungyeon has her one beer that she won't be able to finish. And it's been a day. And luck continues to not be on her side as she approaches the park near her apartment and comes upon Mai. Mai's also been drinking, but that doesn't mean Chungyeon should join her. Yeah, she should drink at home. She's sitting next to Mai before her brain can catch up.
You're an idiot.
Internally, she's screaming, but she tries to talk to Mai anyway. They exchange some pleasantries, and Mai actually leads the conversation, asking about Chungyeon's school affiliation, etc. Like, you know, What school? Like, what?
I'm impressed
major you're
that
into.
Mai didn't go off on her. Because, like, she's had something to drink. I feel like if I had something to drink, I'd be like, oh, it's the homophobe.
Mai is a surprisingly measured person. She tries not to get in people's faces about things.
That's good for her. Like, I don't have that restraint anymore. No, I really sincerely mean that's a good restraint to have. I'm just an old queer. I don't have time anymore.
You're not even old.
I'm old by queer standards. 30s? Oh my goodness. I've been so alive.
Yeah, so their conversation's actually going okay. Mai's leading it. Chungyeon is, like, you know, responding back, getting the whole thing done. But still, Chungyeon still feels that she should apologize in some way. Mai finishes her third beer and sighs. Chungyeon impulsively offers out her own beer. It's not like she wants it anyway, and obviously Mai could use it more since, you know, the thing that she saw this morning.
The breakup.
Yeah. Mai accepts, and Chungyeon reaches out to pass off the beer when her fingers graze against Mai's. She immediately panics and flings the beer into the air, soaking Mai in alcohol and thoroughly embarrassing herself.
Pause. I'm embarrassed. Oh.
Mai, to her credit.
Pause. Did I unpause? No.
Sorry.
I'm recovering.
I'm so sorry. Here.
I'm recovering. Because here's, in my brain, here's me. If I'm the person who soaked this person in beer, I'd be like, my dumb fucking ass just almost fixed the situation, and I just shit on it. I just doubled down my mistake.
Yeah.
If I'm Mai, and I'm not Mai, because Mai is much calmer than me, but my drunk ass would be like, this bitch did that on purpose. I'm gonna rip her hair out. So, that's where I'm expecting it to go a little bit.
Fair.
Alright. I'm good? We can go on. I'm just, that's a lot to happen.
Yeah. So, Mai, to her credit, doesn't freak out. Just calmly gets up and wishes Chungyeon a good evening before heading off to the convenience store.
Oh, Christ, that's worse.
Right?
That's worse for the little homophobe girl.
Right?
Or, I don't know if she's homophobe, but homophobe by association?
Chungyeon is left with only her embarrassment, a throbbing heart, and tingling fingers.
Girl, you're not allowed to have a gay man's. Minus a hole. No. No, girl, you gotta jump your homophobic bestie before I'll even consider you. You got some work to do. Until she drops the homophobe bestie, she's a sowsier.
All right.
She ain't no silk purse until she drops that baggage.
Okay. Well, after a night of drinking herself into a stupor, Mai awakens with a clear idea of what she must do.
Does she remember getting alcohol dumped on her?
Yeah,
God.
she does.
That's the worst. I was hoping maybe she'd forget.
No, she's got that. That one's in the memory bank forever. She must erase all traces of Ji-won from her life.
Please.
Of course she came to that decision after realizing she drunkenly called her ex 1,000,000 times the night before.
Oh, that's funny as hell.
But whatever.
But
Point is, everything's gotta go.
Every lesbian does this.
Yeah.
Everyone does this. Honestly, everyone who's getting ditched like this all the time. Because again, there's something in the air. Because it's always the same queer person who gets ditched over and over too. It's always the same 3 friends of ours who have people who break up with them over and over again.
That's
and
true.
then they drunkenly call them and we're like, please put the alcohol and your phone
pull
down.
Up and don't do this. Yeah.
You can have the alcohol, but I get your phone.
Well, Mai does successfully toss everything that reminds her of Ji-won, which ends up leading her to Soo-hee's doorstep. You see, her bed was actually something that Ji-won bought, so she just had to toss it out.
Girl, you ain't got the money to toss all that shit out.
But now she's
The bed is kind of crazy.
Well, this was not a bed in the same situation that, like, we have, like, a box spring in the bed. It was a mattress on the floor.
Okay.
Yeah, so more like a futon.
Right.
So much cheaper. No, sorry. The way that I'm saying this bed, but no, it is like a futon mattress on the floor.
Okay, no, I'm calm. Because, like, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of my, like, $10K mattress?
Not $10K, but your mattress was like
pretty.
$2,000. Yeah. Yeah, this isn't like a $2,000 situation.
You know what? It felt like $10K because it was my first big purchase as an adult. Never mind, because I'm like, No, it was a lot. And then I had to think about that. I'm like, no, it wasn't.
No, this is a $500 or less purchase, and like because futon and the mattress situations like that are very popular there, it may be even cheaper than that. You might be talking about a couple $100, something like that. So
because my bed was $4K because I also had to buy the stand,
the box spring, and they have the
but I'm just like in my child brain, it was so much for a moment that I bumped it up to $10K.
God,
holy shit! I mean, beds could be that much now. Who knows?
Yeah, there are $10K beds, but then they're like very fancy beds.
Yeah, we got a purple mattress because that shit works. I'm telling you, go try a purple mattress. Not a sponsor, just go try them. You're good.
Oh, she got rid of her bed.
Mm.
Her regular
bed, yes. Like $500 bed, which is a little more reasonable. Still a lot, but more reasonable.
It's probably even less than that. But got rid of her cheap mattress bed futon situation.
Yeah, because of her hoe of an ex, if her hoe of her ex got it for her, it was probably cheap. Because, I don't trust her. I saw her face.
That's fair. But now, she's got nowhere to sleep for the night. And Soo-hee is her most dearest, specialist friend. They are cunts to each other all the time, and I love them.
I hope Soo-hee kicks your ass. You deserve a little ass kicking.
Soo-hee is like, why the fuck are you here? Absolutely not. How are you this stupid? But
you are stupid,
as she's saying this, she is letting Mai into her house. So she begrudgingly lets her in, because she is wondering how Mai's faring with the whole breakup thing.
I would also let Mai in, because has Soo-hee heard of the homophobe next door? Because even if the other girl isn't a homophobe, because again...
Yeah, she also got the story about the homophobe
I'd be afraid to let her live there. I'd be like, you could come stay. You could come stay while you figure out what to do.
But she's just checking on her, and then more importantly, did Mai tell her producer about the breakup, and how's that going to affect the comic?
Ugh.
Well, no, she hasn't told her. Because right when she planned to, Miss Doe sent her a delicious welcome package, and there's just no way she could tell her something so disappointing right at that moment.
I wonder what the delicious... Was it food?
Yeah, it was food, yeah.
Like what, meat or something?
She bought, we don't get to see exactly what it is, but she bought her a bunch of, nice things to eat. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to say shit either. I want to eat the food.
Exactly, you don't want to. Miss Doe believes in her, so she's just going to have to hunker down and figure out a way to write episodes. Whether it means pulling something from the past, or even fake dating Soo-hee. Which is the last thing she wants to do. Soo-hee...
Where did that come from?
Because her comic's all about having a relationship, and Soo-hee's like, you could always take me out, and I'll pretend to be your girlfriend for a day. But they vehemently are not into each other.
Mm-hmm. Is Soo-hee also a lesbian?
Soo-hee is bisexual.
Nice. Nice.
But they're like, there's no way. Not you. You're not in my wheelhouse at all.
Yeah, we all have that gay friend we'd never fuck.
Mm-hmm.
We love them to death.
Yes, and that's what they have going on. They're very much like catty siblings with each other, and they're just...
And then we have that gay friend we would fuck, but they're not the same gay as you, and it's so shameful.
Well... presented with the idea that she might have to fake date. Mai's not super stoked. She's obviously going to have to figure out something, but she's not sure what.
Turn the homophobe into a non-homophobe. That'll be a good comic.
Well, speaking of the homophobe, Chungyeon, meanwhile, is facing her own big decisions. Specifically, she's gone to tell the members of the Christian club, including Chanmi, that she's quitting.
Yeah.
She claims it's because she needs to focus on her studies as a senior, but truthfully, she can't get Mai's sad face out of her head.
Yeah, it's hard to be a bitch, isn't it?
Chungyeon has always vowed to do no harm to others, and she just can't reconcile facilitating hate speech with that vow. So she's out, don't come look for her, there's nothing anyone can do, bye forever.
Yeah, because, I'm sorry, just with how much guilt she had and how this was going, I got the feeling Chungyeon wasn't the homophobic person. But she's hooked up with the homophobic people, and that's the problem.
Because we do know that, Chungyeon has been Christian, her entire life, is very close to being in the church, that sort of thing. That's where her social group basically is a bunch of, Christian folks.
Yeah.
And while she's fine with the religion part, she's not fine with hating on people.
Right. And, honestly, again, because I lived in the Bible Belt, and I'm going to harp on this, religion should never be about hating another person for themselves, for their beliefs, for anything.
Yeah.
Hate people who are villainous. I don't think in Christianity you should be hating anymore. I'm no longer fully immersed in religion. I still dabble in it. I'm still kind of looking for my own truths out there. But, like, if you're in this group that's supposed to be like, we're claiming love and we're claiming this, you can't turn around and being like, but not this person.
Mm-hmm.
Not this person because they kissed another man and they're a man, or because they're a woman and they kissed another woman. Yo, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Chill out. That is the chillest shit people can do.
Yeah, so Chungyeon quits the Christian club. Chanmi, being her bestie, is consumed with worry. Her poor little Chungyeon must be feeling stressed or depressed, and she has to figure out how to rectify it.
Girl, it's the hate speech.
Chanmi confides in her shit-ass boyfriend about it. Not that he seems to care. But by talking at him, she realizes that Chungyeon must have her first boyfriend. It would totally explain why she's been acting so weird lately. You know, like checking her phone all the time, not talking to Chanmi as often, wistfully looking out the window and stuff like that, just having this very clouded look of worry on her face.
Chungmi, Miss Little Catholic Schoolgirl here, she needs to go on a journey. She needs to go walk along a beach, discover a seashell, question how it's made, question how the sun works, question how the universe works, question how people breathe. Just do anything other than stay trapped in her little bubble of religion that is making her dumb as shit.
I gotta tell you that Chanmi is a clueless straight girl. She is so straight, it is painful.
Religion is the death of women.
Jesus Christ.
It's the death of women's free thought. Anyways.
Mm-hmm. She takes the time to reminisce about how cute Chungyeon was when they were kids. Silly girl thought that girls kissing and holding hands and saying I love you meant that they could date. And she was always more interested in eating food than dating boys. Poor thing must be so lost now that she's found her own special guy.
Girl, 1, you're in a terrible relationship. I just know it. 2, please, you're not in a religion anymore. It sounds like you're in a cult.
To be fair, when it's showing them as kids, it is that little kid way of thinking, like, oh no, women and men go together. It's that heteronormativity is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, no, I can, like, hold
that's
hands and kiss my
That's
friend.
not what I'm judging her for. I'm judging her for that she talks to her wall of a fuck-ass boyfriend. Someone who's probably on her cell phone and not giving her the time of day. And she's decided, oh, my friend's acting weird because she's as in love as I am. Girl, you ain't in love. You're a prop.
Chanmi is like, she looked a poster child for heteronormativity at this point. Like, both the good and bad parts of it. Like,
what's the good part?
The good part.
This is like a caricature of a straight person. Because we know straight people who aren't this bad.
Yeah.
This is a bad straight person.
She is, yeah.
This is that straight person you look at and you're like, oh, honey, please, we gotta get you out of here.
Like, I guess not the good and bad, but I mean, like, the non-problematic and the bad. Because it's not terrible to think, like, oh, this person's gonna get with this person. Like, I'm not always sitting there being like, oh, well, everything about heteronormativity is terrible.
No.
Some of it's just fine.
The part that's bad
but,
is
like,
that
most of it's bad.
Here's the part that's bad that is rubbing me really the wrong way. That she clearly thinks it's okay to put up a flyer that is shitting on a marginalized people.
Yeah.
Hurtfully. And she is smiling about it, carrying on her goddamn merry little way.
Yes.
That's the problem I'm having. And that's the thing she's representing that I'm like, nah, girl, we gotta get you out. You gotta learn how to be a person because clearly you don't have empathy.
A lot of people felt that way reading this. You're not alone, for sure. Well.
And if this author makes me care one little bit about this little straight bitch, I'm gonna be real mad.
Later on, Chanmi does confront Chungyeon about it and pesters until she caves and admits that someone has been on her mind. Of course, that someone is Mai. Not a boy.
Not a boy.
Our precious straight girl, of course, is now convinced that there's a boyfriend, but she does give some actual decent advice about making up over a meal and about arguments making people closer. So she's like, you've obviously had an argument with your boyfriend, no worries. Like, arguments help you, like, understand each other better. Buy him some food and then you'll make up or whatever.
I don't like this. Straight girl.
Well, yeah, so Chanmi did give some good advice, but she is still so off base. So deeply off base.
Oh, boy.
Just stick with me.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Later, we're given a clue to a future set of problems that Chungyeon will face. Outside of the whole glass case of homosexuality thing, she's gonna have other issues.
Mm-hmm.
She's a computer engineer in a photography class, which sure is something. And I know this in my heart because we both went to art school.
Yeah.
There's always, especially in lower level art classes, but also in some of the specialty ones, there would be one person that was not an art major. It was like science or history or business or something.
Mm-hmm.
Marketing, which is, well, that's like art adjacent. Not the same when they're actually
but they took your
things.
art class thinking, oh, this is the easy art class, and then they're like,
and they always picked like fucking etching or lithography or photography, thinking this is similar to my major, and then I had a miserable time.
We had someone in our book illustration class, and it was like, dude, get out of this class, and not like offensively, just like this.
You're gonna die.
One, you're gonna die, and two, the book illustration class only came once a year, so it was hard to get into. You had to get lucky or invited to get into that semester.
Mm-hmm.
So for us to have a non-major person in that class was kind of like, yo, what the fuck are you doing in here? How did you get in here?
And someone's probably gonna kill you for your spot.
Yeah, and like he wound up dropping in 2 weeks because like, this isn't basic art. These were, most of those people there had already made their own comics or books or had thought about it and just needed like those last minute tips. Like, hey, how do I make a demo book? How do I, what am I, where are my problems at when it comes to making a book? Like for me, it was like, they're like, you got the illustration part down, but if you're going to do your own writing, you don't know shit about formatting. And I didn't. So like, holy crap, you know?
So this is what Chungyeon is in, is a photography class for like photography majors, basically.
There's always someone who does that on accident. And I'm not judging them meanly. I'm judging you like, oh honey, why did they let you do this?
Yeah, she had to take an elective.
Yeah.
And she couldn't get into the easy elective. She ended up in photography. Yeah.
God. Bless. That's probably how it happens, is all the easy electives got taken.
Probably, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, so poor thing's dealing with that. Simultaneously to Chungyeon's impending crisis, we have Mai at a cafe, still unsure of how to get her comic off the ground. Short of finding a new girlfriend, she's out of fucking ideas. She does try to actually get on, like, the comics version of Tinder, but she fails in under 10 minutes because everyone that she swipes on
looks
is
like her ex or something.
Everyone she swipes on is, like, insane in some way. They're either like, oh, you're not my type because you have brown hair. Oh, right.
Jesus.
Like, your hair's too dark. Oh, I don't like your build. Oh, actually, I need to know every detail about you, including, like, basically your social security number before we can hook up. It's just all weird stuff. Or, like, somebody's trying to sell her something, that sort of thing. And from what I've heard from people, it really can be like that. So
no, it can be like that. I've heard it, experienced it to a minor degree. Thank God I just fell in very easily with you after a time. Because, like, after I gave up dating, and I'm not saying, I'm not putting you down or nothing, but, like, after I gave up trying to date because it was just not working for me, falling into a relationship with you was so fucking easy. Holy shit. Like, trying was the problem.
Yeah,
you just have to let a relationship slap you in the face, I guess.
Dating's a nightmare. And so that doesn't work out. So now she's having this crisis of, like, what do I do? Chungyeon is, like, stuck in her own head about how do I pass this fucking class? So they're both lost in thought as they step out into the rainy afternoon. And neither are prepared to meet each other. Chungyeon sees Mai first, noticing that she's got that sad look on her face again. The look that Chungyeon can't seem to forget. She offers out her umbrella to Mai as a gesture of goodwill, but is promptly rejected. Because Mai's thinking, why is this girl being so nice to me?
You threw beer on me.
Right, the beer thing, but also she's like, isn't she afflicted with homophobia?
I would have a lot of questions too, like, because there's so many unanswered questions.
Yeah.
Like, why the homophobic flyers? And then also you threw beer on me. Because I'm sure she doesn't know it's an accident. Like,
she just doesn't think about it that hard. She's just like, my day was already bad, I'll just move on.
Oh, God, Mai, I don't have this patience.
But what I do love is, like, the comic literally speaks about Chungyeon like she's afflicted with homophobia. Like, it's a sickness. That's how Mai thinks about it.
I feel like it should be thought about in that way.
Which is fair. Like, it's fair, but it's just like a very funny turn of phrase.
You're
at the same
homophobic,
time.
you're sick. Why is it me? Why do I, the gay one, have to be the sick one?
Yeah.
You're the one afraid of something that's not got anything to do with you.
But like, she's asking all these questions, and then she's like, well, also, too, I have an umbrella, so it's not like I need help from you on this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Or so she thought. Luck is just not with Mai this week, so she does end up sharing an umbrella with Chungyeon, though it's a bit uncomfortable.
Why did they share it?
Mai didn't have her umbrella. She thought she did. Nope.
Girl.
Yeah. But as they're walking together, she immediately notices Chungyeon is so far away from her that her shoulder is getting wet with the rain. Mai focuses back in and is quite shocked when Chungyeon apologizes to her. Like, she's used to getting told she needs to repent, but she's never had someone apologize for it. Still, this is just too weird of a situation.
Mm-hmm.
Mai cuts off the rest of Chungyeon's apology and just tells her to leave it alone and forget they ever had a negative experience. She's just thankful Chungyeon didn't out her after all. Chungyeon manages to stutter out that she would have never done that, but can barely finish her sentence as she starts bawling.
Why is being out, like, question, like, who would she be outed to?
There's just this concern that Mai would be outed to, like, the entire school population, because they go to the same school.
Okay, so that would be,
Like,
that's the problem.
School population, or the neighborhood, or whatever. Yeah.
Right, no, that's, I was trying to figure out who.
Yeah.
Because, like, clearly she does a webcomic, and, like, her
Mm-hmm.
producer knows. So I'm trying to figure out, like, where her outing would be.
Yeah, she has to take one more class to finish her degree.
Right, and, like, getting outed in your last year would probably be problematic.
Because it's barely even a last year. It's like she didn't squeeze this class in before, so she's on campus like an hour a week kind of thing. So it would suck, yeah.
Yeah, because I was definitely in the closet in high school, but my happy gay little ass was free in college.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you're an adult, and you at least feel like an adult.
Yeah, absolutely.
And adults are chill.
Yeah. But Chungyeon just starts bawling. She thrusts the umbrella into a dumbfounded Mai's hands and sprints away into the rain, her backpack flapping open and strewing her school materials into the streets.
No, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm not laughing at her, but that sucks.
Uh-huh.
I'm embarrassed for her, and it's funny, and it sucks, and it's sad.
Mai tries to call out to her, partially about the crying, but mostly about the backpack, but to no avail.
No, that's funny.
And she's just left there going, what the fuck just happened?
I agree. Like, this is so confusing for Mai's side. Like, Chungyeon's funny. Chungyeon's is sad. Because I have a feeling she's upset and crying because Mai's being so cool about it all.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, from Mai's perspective, it's like, what the fuck? And then Chungyeon's perspective is like, Mai is dealing with a lot, and I was so shitty to her. And Chungyeon said she didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So it just seems like she's very sensitive to how she's treating others, and so she's weighed down with a lot of guilt by that.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's where Chungyeon's coming from, and I feel bad for her.
It's that and a secret third thing.
Yeah, the third thing being that she's lesbian.
Yeah.
Like, that's oh god, my cough, lesbian. You know, that's what's up.
Yeah. The next scene, we see Mai diligently drying a Bible with a hairdryer. It's not working, but she feels compelled to try.
Mai rescued her stuff. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's just she's trying to blow it out, but like, I don't know what it is.
It's gonna get wrinkled, but you know, it's not gonna be ruined.
Well, so she was able to save most of Chungyeon's thing, but the Bible is just about ruin. Because Lord knows that shit is printed on 1-ply toilet paper and written in ballpoint pen.
It is very thin
Like,
paper.
every regular... Like, my kid's Bible was on, like, actual paper.
Yeah.
And, like, printed in color and stuff like that. But all the adult Bibles I had, or older kid Bibles, like, if I sneezed on the paper, it would rip in half.
Right.
And then if you just, like... You know, a drop of sweat fell on it, then it just runs together.
Can I just say, I had, like, I'm gonna say kids' Bible, quote unquote. It was the real Bible, but they had made a Precious Moments Bible.
Oh, yeah.
That shit was sturdy as hell.
Yeah.
It was the real Bible, but there's Precious Moment caricatures all in it, all over it. That was the thickest, best freaking paper ever. I loved that Bible. I read it all the time because the Precious Moments characters made it cute as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, when you start absorbing the actual stories, then you get scared.
Yeah.
But, like...
Yeah.
But, you know, the Precious Moments kids made it easier for me. But that thing was sturdy as shit. Like, that thing survived a tornado. That thing lived. Nothing ever happened to it. It's still alive to this day.
Yeah.
I've had that thing since I was like 10.
And then you have regular Bibles, and they disintegrate
They
if you
disintegrate.
just spit on them.
They disintegrate.
Yeah. Even if there's nothing she can do about the Bible, Mai still feels guilty about it. And she calls Suki to get advice. Suki, yeah. I know.
I just feel like Suki's looking at her phone like, what's wrong with you?
I mean, they're tight friends. It is what it is. Suki advises her to settle whatever it is between Mai and her neighbor, because obviously things aren't adding up. And Miss Mai hates awkward situations. And it's just damn weird that a homophobe would be so upset about this whole mess. The next day, Chungyeon looks straight up awful. She spent the previous evening rain-soaked and panicked as she looked for her missing things. Chanmi is super worried about her and dotes on her, because her poor baby just looks so haggard. They end up talking about their problems, like friends do. Chanmi is worried about school and her club duties, and Chungyeon is mostly worried about her photography class that is well above her skill level. Chanmi can probably fix that with the help of her boyfriend, which is great. But there's still something on Chungyeon's mind. Why did they print all of those anti-gay flyers to begin with?
Question.
Yeah.
So is Chungmi's boyfriend the artist? Like, so that's why they think he can help with the photography?
Chunmi just explains that her boyfriend has a camera.
Oh, okay.
That's literally it. He's got a camera.
That's what she needs, is a camera. Okay.
Well, that's one of the things that she needs, because as they're talking about it, Chungyeon's like, well, I can just take everything on my phone, and Chunmi's like, no, you need a real camera to take the photos for the class, because what if you take shitty photos and everyone else is taking better photos? So she's got a good reason to offer her the camera. Chungyeon isn't really thinking about it. So it is just like offering out something to her.
I wonder if you could. Sure I don't know enough about cell phones. I wonder if you could take a photography class with a cell phone now.
So Chanmi even addresses that like because Chungyeon's phone is so old that probably she couldn't. That if she had a brand new phone, probably could.
Yeah.
But her phone is like.
Because that's the interesting thing about like how far technology is coming all the time.
Yeah, you could theoretically take like. If you didn't want to buy a camera or rent a camera, you could probably do it with an iPhone at this point. But
yeah.
Depends on who your teacher is, because photography teachers are weird. But yeah, the very important question, why did they print all of those anti-gay flyers? Simple. One of the professors had asked for it.
A teacher.
Yes, but why would their good, normal Christian club participate in that sort of thing? Oh, well, even though queer stuff's becoming more acceptable, what's wrong is wrong, and isn't it kind of gross anyway? So that's what Chanmi expresses.
Chanmi, I hope your boyfriend shits on your chest. I hope he's like, hey babe, I want to try some new sex, and he takes a hot steaming dump on your tits.
Ah, Cleveland steamer.
Mm-hmm. Have fun with that.
Needless to say, Chungyeon had a bad day, and she feels like there's no one to blame but herself. She trudges home, fully expecting to have an even worse evening. But Mai has been waiting and checking the peephole, hoping to catch Chungyeon before she enters her apartment. Mai is successful and meets Chungyeon right as she's unlocking her door. She can tell the poor girl still isn't feeling so hot, but she's got the fix for it. Mai hands over a bag filled with Chungyeon's missing items. Tears well up in Chungyeon's eyes. She's so thankful. And Mai went so far as to buy her a brand new, well-made Bible. Like
that's nice.
Like it's like gold. It's like golden on the outside thing. And everything. Yeah, it's very.
That's
it's very
really
pretty.
Nice because like that sucks. Their property got destroyed and all that stuff. But it's really nice that she didn't buy her a cheap one. She could have.
Yeah, I think even she was feeling how I'm feeling, which is I'm not gonna give you another shitty Bible that can get like if it gets wet once, it just disintegrates.
Yeah, get a good one so that it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap!
This is so fucking touching, and Chungyeon ends up bawling again from the kindness and from Mai's sincere apology. Because Mai actually tells her like, "Hey, I'm sorry that I made you upset yesterday," because she doesn't understand what she said to cause it. But she still apologizes, and it's like, "Hey, water under the bridge. You apologize to me. I'm apologizing to you. Let's be chill about stuff."
Yeah, how about y'all have a conversation about what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Because you both got some gaps, because Chungyeon's feeling too guilty for basically, I'm sorry, I'm reeling over the teacher reveal. A teacher made you print slander against other people.
Yeah.
And you guys are technically children, because in Korea, college students are still treated like kids.
Yeah.
They don't need to work. They need to be like going to school and educating themselves.
Yeah.
But a teacher made you print slander.
So there's a little extra context to this. They don't get into it until around this point, but their university is somewhat religiously affiliated, and they have a unofficial gay club. So they have a gay club, but it's not official because there's not like a sponsor for it and stuff like that. But so the gay club basically put up like, hey, we're a queer friendly school, because generally most people don't care if you're gay on campus. Like,
and then this teacher decided to get real hateful.
Yeah, this teacher was like, how dare you?
Yeah, because that's always how it goes. You know what, Chungmi? I still think you should get shit on your chest because I think you might learn a lesson. But guess what? You got a bad adult leading you to do some bad things.
Yeah, because truthfully, the Christian club never did that before. They never touched this before. But then suddenly they were asked to.
A lot of my anger is now shifted at this nameless teacher who we don't know yet. But I still think Chungmi deserves some sort of wake-up call. And it could be in the form of someone taking a shit on her chest.
Right. Anyway, the girls both apologize to each other. Mai takes Chungyeon into her apartment to fix her warm beverage and help her calm down. It's the first time someone's been inside her place since Ji-won left, but it doesn't feel bad.
What a weird time this would be. The strange, maybe not homophobe is in my house.
They chat a bit and get the whole Sunbae Hubei major talk out of the way, and are more or less moving to a point where they no longer have to feel awkward around each other. So there's the little conversation about like, oh, I'm older than you, so you should theoretically call me Sunbae. I don't care if you do. Just call me Mai. It's not that deep. And all that sort of stuff. And so once we kind of get that past that point of like, this is what we're going on, Chungyeon ends up just spewing information. Because Mai just says like, oh, I'm this age and I'm a senior also, and blah, blah, blah. And then Chungyeon just goes, blah. And then like ends up talking about like her likes, her dislikes, whether or not she likes long walks on the beach. Just spews it all in one go.
Because she's dealing with a crush, and like, I think her world's come out from under her a little bit.
She also just seems very kind of reserved in general. So so she just like info dumps on her.
Yeah.
Mai offers to get dinner for both of them, but Chungyeon declines, citing homework, but promises to buy them dinner next time.
That's nice.
Yeah. So Mai's walking around when Chungyeon's hit with a realization. Mai's a photography major.
Oh, is she?
Cool. That's what she majored in. And she needs as much help as she can get. Mai ends up offering the use of her camera and a little crash course on photography, which is all well and good. Except, Chanmi has also acquired a camera for Chungyeon. Kind of.
Don't use Chunmi's camera.
So later...
Like, I don't trust Chunmi's boyfriend because I get the sense he just looks at his phone all day instead of listening to his girlfriend.
Just wait. Chanmi invited Chungyeon out for steak, which he's apparently owed her for years at this point. Because Chanmi's still like, Chungyeon's not really talking to me about why she quit the Christian club. Maybe it's because I promised to buy her steak at one point for helping me out and I didn't like buy her steak. But she's like, maybe I stressed her out. Maybe I was asking, too much of her. But she's still very much thinking, I've hurt her feelings or like made her upset in some way or I'm stressing her out. And that's why she's quitting.
You're probably stressing her out, but not for the reasons you're thinking.
Right. And so she's upset about it. So she's like, well, I'll treat her to steak and it'll be great. Right. So now they're eating steak and eating together. And so Chanmi excitedly tells her that the boyfriend is coming and will let her borrow the camera.
No. I just don't trust him. I know I haven't met him yet. I just don't trust him.
And Chanmi's also been on this whole kick if she wants her boyfriend to meet Chungyeon because she's like, Chungyeon's so important to me.
So they haven't
She's
met
my bestie.
even.
No. She's been trying to get them to meet, but her boyfriend's always like, well, I'm busy or I don't have time today or whatever. And she's like, but she's important to me and you're important to me. I want you two to meet and like each other because she's very important.
You know what? I wasn't really joking about him shitting on her chest, but I think she's getting that lesson of having a very bad relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ding, ding, ding. Bad flag.
Yeah. So before Chungyeon can say no about the camera, the asshole appears. And unceremoniously...
the asshole appears.
And unceremoniously plops down next to Chanmi. The couple immediately start bickering, because he's not just supposed to drop the camera off, he's also meeting her bestie today as well. The bickering turns into straight up arguing when Chungyeon assures them that she already has access to a camera, and the boyfriend just fucking books it. He just leaves. He's like, cool, so you don't need me after all, and then leaves. Like, zero respect for this whole meeting thing or whatever.
Wow, yeah. Chungmi, this is a sign.
Yeah, Chungmi chases after him, promising to be back soon, leaving Chungyeon to feel awkward all by herself.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been in front of a fighting couple in a while, but I never want to be ever again.
Yeah. And I know we may sound like we fight a lot. That's just how I talk. Don't worry. We're not fighting. I'm just screaming in anguish as I listen to these.
I am basically torturing her every week, so I deserve some of the vitriol.
No, you don't deserve vitriol. You just know I can't. I don't have chill. I have no chill. Like, I'm that person who the music gets too intense in a horror film and I scream and send off, other people screaming before the real scare happens. I'm that bitch.
But in this case, all of your horror movies are boy loves and girl loves.
They really are. Like, they just bring me so much stress. I just feel like a lot of queer love is about being inexperienced. And it's so fucking hard being a young gay person. It's so hard. Mm-hmm. I'm so glad to be done with it. I'm so glad to be a middle-aged gay person. No, I'm not old. I'm not old. But, the point is, I did the hard part. I went to the queer clubs. I met scary, racist, and homophobes. I found a good wife. I'm great. I'm done. Just, let's stay perfect forever, Mm-hmm. Jump into the sunset. I never want to go back there.
So, Mai's also struggling, though, again. But it's because of her comic. Her producer is very eager...
I want to see your new work!
Yeah, she's very eager to see progress and sent her a kind but threatening email about it. Like those ones where it's like, you can send me the next draft at any time. Eagerly awaiting it. Can't wait to see what's next. Let me know if you need some help or assistance we can get it going.
This sucks. Because it feels like she has an overeager fan a little bit.
I've heard from, I read all the author's notes on every comic I read. If they have an author's note, I read it. And multiple of them say that there is this type of producer, manager type that, they're so nice that they make you nervous. You feel like you have to work harder because they're being so nice to you, kind of thing.
Yeah. I've worked with people like that.
Exactly.
God, holy shit.
So, surely Mai can squeeze something out to get the ball rolling on this series. She is unfortunately no thoughts head empty and achieves nothing that day. And she has to meet up with Chungyeon outside the complex anyway, so she shifts her focus to that instead. Except when she's outside of their apartment complex, Chungyeon's late. Oh, damn it. Mai waits for a while before she heads back inside to try Chungyeon's door. She knocks and is about to give up when Chungyeon drags the door open, looking like death has come for her. Mai helps her back inside, completely forgetting about getting stood up, and she helps the girl to her bed. You see, poor Chungyeon has the advanced meat sweats. Chun-Mi never came back, leaving her to eat 2 full servings of salad, pasta, and steak. So Chungyeon just felt so, she didn't want to waste food. It's already paid for. She didn't want to waste food. She couldn't take it home, so she ate all of the food for 2 people.
I feel really, okay, this is so stupid, but that is so real.
Really?
That is so real, and it's so stupid, but it's such a college shit you would get into. I remember when, I wasn't even starting college yet, but y'all were showing me around, and y'all took me out to this, restaurant everyone liked. All the food was, fried Asian food, and it was gross. You weren't enjoying it, and I'm not enjoying it, and I tried...
Oh, yeah.
I tried to get... I was like, oh, cool, they just have vegetable snacks. And I thought I was just going to get vegetables and rice, but I got fried vegetables and rice, and I ate it out of duty, but I was so fucking sick.
Yeah.
I just didn't want fried Asian food. I just wanted, rice and vegetables, or rice and, grilled chicken, not, chicken covered in this thick tempura and then baked and fried, and it was awful. It was the worst food place. I never went back after that.
It was a Chinese restaurant made specifically for white college students to enjoy, so they leaned really hard into, too many sauces, too much fried food, and then gave you a ton of it. So, but this...
It's,
this is the situation.
Because people were showing me around. I ate all that food.
Yeah.
I paid for it later. I felt awful, and I never ate there again. All my classmates in the future would be like, let's go there. And they're like, why aren't you eating? And I'm like, I'll never eat here again.
Yeah. I'd rather die.
And, my 6 years at college, never went back.
Exactly. So I relate to this feeling of
feeling
like I can't waste food, and I just have to get it done. So Mai also fully understands. She sympathizes, like, no, it's okay. All is forgiven. You poor thing, you must be sick.
This is such a stupidly relatable college thing, and it's such a weird one too. But it's so relatable.
Exactly. So Mai gives Chungyeon a quick rundown of how to use her camera. Like, so Sil goes through with showing her camera, and then she promises to give her a better lesson the next day, and then gets ready to leave. But not before asking if Chungyeon's taken some medicine. No. Mai rages at her, orders her to stay in bed, and rushes off to get some. Because Chungyeon is old enough to where she probably should have some medicine, so Mai gives her...
But she doesn't have any medicine at her
she gives her, like, mom talk of, like, what do you mean you don't have medicine on? You're living on your own, you need to have a little blood,
Yeah.
Mai's got a rude way of speaking sometimes, but she's just so damn nice. And this is what Chungyeon thinks with a blush tinting her face.
God. What a way.
Uh-huh.
What a way to be like, oh, I'm gay after your homophobia slip up.
I also have to say that Chungyeon's room, they both have like one room studio apartment. The thing about Chungyeon's room though, is she has a statue of Jesus, and like she's almost got like a little altar area where there's like a statue of Jesus and her Bible and like some candles. And so when Mai walked in, she was like, oh, "It's religion."
I'm scared.
I'm gonna get smited right here.
Okay, so someone who will be unnamed because you do know this person. I went to her apartment because like I can't remember, but I didn't have something I needed for class, and she had her apartment, which was like right on campus basically. So we ran to her apartment to get it. I'd always noticed that she'd had her own like Jesus figure in the in like her hallway area, but when I came into her apartment that day, she had turned the Jesus figure around, and I was like, how come Jesus is in the corner? And she embarrassingly was like, oh, well, I brought someone home last night and I didn't want Jesus to see me having sex. And it was so fucking funny. But I was like, I feel like I'd turn it around too. Exactly. Because it was a big it was like a good sized Jesus statue. Yeah. It was as big as like a gallon of milk, you know?
This is what Chungyeon has in her room.
Yeah.
It's that big, yeah.
Yeah.
But Mai returns with the medicine and a cup of warm water. She watches Chungyeon like a hawk to make sure that she drinks it, and is taken aback by the delicate quality of Chungyeon's neck. And wow, that droplet of water is taking such a delightful journey down to her collarbone. Mai glances away and right into the gaze of the Jesus statue on Chungyeon's bedside table.
Jesus is like, oh, you looking?
But what's a girl to do when she's got a cute Ernest Jr. living next door and an empty space in her heart and her comic? And how can said cute Jr. find a way to befriend her senior without reconciling her rapidly growing crush? Photography, maybe, but not without struggling first.
Mm.
And so this is how we kick off into them starting to figure out gay for each other, ?
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
I really like this already. This is fun, very stressful. It's giving me flashbacks I wasn't expecting today.
That's I've noticed. it's most of the comic is honestly very light and fun and chill. They do have some big problems, like the ex comes back at one point. She shows her cunty ass up again for no goddamn reason.
Why? Why is she back? I want attention now that I left you.
She's got issues. She's done this before. She
5 times.
Come back. Yeah, she loves to ditch and come back. So she does come back. We do get some stuff happening with Chanmi in the positive.
Mm-hmm.
So she does some good stuff, and we'll touch on a little bit. I
don't really give a shit about her. Sorry, Miss Bangs.
That's fine. But
your boyfriend's gonna have to break your heart for me to feel for you a little bit.
But everybody has good development moments, and so even when these people kind of show back up and do whatever, it serves as a good way for the characters to develop forward as people, basically. And then there's a part 2 to this, because there's season 1 that's dealing with the development of the relationship and kind of solving some issues that are kind of bigger overarching issues. And then season 2 focuses on further going into adulthood for the characters, which is really nice too. So there's still some stuff that comes up. There's another person that shows up and kind of doesn't throw a wrench into Chungyeon and Mai's relationship, but is feeling herself in a weird way and makes some stupid mistakes herself. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, she definitely is trying to put her nose in a situation she should stay out of.
Oh.
And it's just like, girl, you're too old for this. Is kind of
the
the thing. And so it's like she has to figure out, I'm being dumb as hell right now.
Is it that old senpai who's like, let me lecture you two young birds how to fall in love or something?
No. It's something else. It's something at work, actually.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, like, but I still found it interesting because I'm like, that's right. Older people are also stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially if we're not that much older, like, than a 25-year-old. If they're like a 27-year-old, you're still stupid. It's okay.
Yeah, but I think that character's 30, and so she's like, I'm too old for this shit. Why did I do this? Yeah.
Yeah, you're one of them late bloomers. It's okay. Me too. I am so old, but I make 21-year-old decisions, let me tell you.
So let's jump into these characters real quick. So first and foremost, we have Mai Sohn, our main character. She's a 25-year-old photography major pursuing a career in comics, and she's recently single.
Very recent.
Mm-hmm. She's a bit rough around the edges, but is actually incredibly sweet and goofy. She's still hung up on her shitty ex, but is dedicated to finally getting over her this time. As for every other time, she's like, I'll take her back, it's fine. This time she's actually making a concentrated effort to say, no, that's it, you don't leave me like this
Is there
anymore.
anything different about this time? Because, like, it just feels like, damn, girl, 5 times is a lot to have to learn this lesson.
I think it's just, she just reached the end of her rope on it. Like, that's sometimes how it is for people where the same thing happens, nothing's really changed, but you've just changed as a person, and it's just too much.
Well, I'm glad she finally got there, because, like, it sucks watching people go through this, because, again, we're queer people. We have seen people go through this in real life, where it's just like, please, I'm praying for you. I'm worshiping the devil for you. I'm anything for you. Don't take this asshole back. And then they take the asshole back. Or, like, you know, it go crawling back to them. It's just...
But she carries a bit of baggage from her last relationship, too, which does become relevant as the comic carries on.
So she has another previous relationship?
No, it's just this one with G1.
Oh, it's just... Jesus, G1.
She's got some baggage from it as well. Well, it doesn't come up until later, but it is there.
Okay.
She's confident in her lesbianism and keeps people around her that accept that. Like Suhee. She's easily swayed by pretty girls' tears, but she also cries pretty easily herself.
Question, like, do we find out when she realized she was a lesbian? Is there any of that talk?
No.
Okay.
It's not super important to her story. She's been very confidently lesbian for a long time.
Yeah, no, I was just curious out of my own, like, curiosities. Like, I don't know. I just wanted to know.
Yeah. She finds Chungyeon adorable and puppy-like.
And probably likes those tears, too.
Yeah, that is kind of the thing that's been screwing her over. She's like, well, she cried, and...
I like pretty crying girls.
She's like, what do I do? I'm so weak to her.
And weak to the tears.
She does call Chungyeon her puppy a lot of the time, too. That becomes her nickname.
I'm gonna gag like that cat.
Fair.
Gross. It's gross. It's too affectionate.
Mai is very affectionate. She's very goofy, gooey affectionate.
She seems it.
But she's like
cute.
proud of it. It's very cute.
Ugh, my puppy. Gross.
Chungyeon Lee, our female lead, and a closeted gay.
Very closeted. Is she aware she's in the closet, or is that something she discovers later?
She's discovering it in slow motion is what it feels like. Because you don't really get... I don't think she understands that she's a lesbian. Because when she was a kid, she just like took what Chan Mi said, like, oh, okay, so I can't like girls that way, but I can like a guy that way. And then she never liked a guy that way. And then it suddenly hits her like a ton of bricks when she meets Mai, like, oh, the feelings I've been having for a long time are gay. And I can now identify and pinpoint every single time I was being gay, and that it wasn't just affection for another girl.
Yeah. Understandable.
But she's timid and soft, despite her heightened strength, which leads her to being easily bowled over and susceptible to hanging out with people she doesn't like that much. So she has plenty of people that she's not super fond of, but she's just very soft-hearted and very timid. But she's also, like, tall for a girl. I think they said she's 5'8" in here, which that's not tall in America, but it is tall in Korea, which I understand. And she is just built different, and she is very strong.
She looks very sporty. Like,
yeah.
She's very, like... She sounds very, very sweet, but every picture I've seen of her, I'm like, that girl should arm wrestle.
Yeah, she's
like,
very athletic.
She just looks athletic.
Yeah, she picks up Mai a handful of times, like bridal carries.
Yeah.
Even. It's very
she
cute.
looks like Makoto from, like, Sailor Moon, you know? Like,
yeah.
She's a Sailor Jupiter type.
Very much. She is dedicated to her friendship with Chun-Mi and truly appreciates their relationship. She's also a hard worker, and it pairs well with her kind personality, making her very easy to get along with. She's smitten with Mai, and thinks she's cool as fuck. She's also the poster child for, oh, they're not hating, they're just gay.
She's just gay and fucked up. Yeah. That's the vibes we get from everything you showed me of her feeling guilty over it. I'm like, oh, that's the vibe of someone who's like, you did something wrong and you didn't mean it at all.
Yeah, because
that's why I think before you act.
When I first read through this, I saw her like spill all the beer on Mai, and I was like, why did you freak out? And then I'm like, oh, you are crushing already, and you don't know what to do. Like you spooked yourself because you touched fingertips and were like, the electricity.
You're very gay already. Yeah.
So then we have Chun-Mi. She's Chungyeon's best friend and a devout Christian. She also has a terrible temper, which is weirdly charming. Because as devout as she has a terrible fucking temper. She's cussing up a storm. She's yelling at people, and never because she's wrong. Usually when she's throwing a tantrum, somebody else is wrong.
Hey, that's actually nice.
So, she would also fight people to the death to protect Chungyeon, even though that behavior is a turn-off to men in her life. She basically picks her best friend over her boyfriends. But I'm like, no, I get it. It's fine.
Yeah, but that is definitely going to, turn some people off.
Yeah. She does start out as homophobic, but she figures things out as the comic goes along. She is painfully straight and pretty oblivious to Chungyeon's feelings, but she really does cherish their relationship over all others.
So she's a straight we're forced to keep, then.
Yeah. They're very good best friends.
Yay. You haven't given me any real reason to like her, so...
That's fine.
So I'm not thrilled by it.
It's what it is. Then we have Soo-hee-oh, Mai's bestie, and a rich cafe owner. She is a listless bisexual.
What's that mean? She's just not interested in fucking?
She's not applying herself. Her work ethic needs some work, and she's easily tricked into spending money.
Oh, girl.
But she's a good and honest friend.
That's a bisexual trait.
Exactly right. Because as much as Mai's going through this disaster, Soo-hee at one point is like, hey, did you happen to get into an accidental situation? Like how I got tricked into buying a bunch of TVs? And Mai's like, I need to live with you because what's wrong? You can't go out by yourself.
TVs? Okay.
Yeah.
I get tricked into buying books. I don't get tricked into buying TVs.
Yeah.
I will say that.
But yeah,
I'm very happy with the books.
She's a bit of a chaotic bisexual in her own way. She's if Mai's rough around the edges, she learned it from Soo-hee, who's even worse.
Yeah, that's right. Us bis can't be trusted.
She's a thing for lead idol types and brats. She hates Ji-won with her whole chest, and thank God for that.
Good.
But she does develop a soft spot for Chungyeon and Chun-mi.
Alright.
Chun-mi does end up working for Soo-hee at some point.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just don't, again, look, I'm just having to rely on word of mouth, and the shit you've shown me has made me have my feelings for Chun-mi is in the negative.
That's totally fair. You are right where everybody else would be right now.
Mm-hmm.
That totally makes sense.
So I don't trust her.
Yeah. So, of course, then we also have Ji-won Go.
Who needs to go away.
It says right here, she can get the fuck out of here.
Ji-won Go. Go.
She's Mai's ex, for real this time. And I can promise you, she did not have a good reason for disappearing, and her ass will be back to cause trouble. She needs to be pushed into the sea.
She's just one of those who just wanted to, make someone upset for a time and then come back.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's a little bit worse than that. It's a really stupid fucking reason. Wow. Very much in the, manipulative, almost abusive ex kind of thing.
Yeah, probably full on is, again, we know people like this. Know someone online like this who I tell you about on, a weekly experience. Because I just watch them set themselves on fire every week, it feels like.
Some people are just trifling.
Mm-hmm.
There are some other characters, like I said earlier, that show up in Season 2, including an idol and an assistant manager, but their importance really isn't relevant until much, much later. I will assure you, though, that no matter what drama they cause, it's still pretty low stakes. For everything that happens, anything that could potentially affect our couple it really doesn't have as big of an impact because they are very strong with each other. And so even if there's like, oh, well, this person's trying to hit on so-and-so, it doesn't really matter. Things work out fine. Mm-hmm. So I've definitely read comics that it was more tense than this. This one, I'm just like, oh, they're fine. They've talked about it. Yeah. It's going to be okay. There's not really a strong overarching theme for this one, but there's a ton of emphasis on just being your weird little self. Like, Chungyeon's journey is an obvious example of this because she's coming out, but Mai goes on this journey too. She didn't realize how much of herself she was editing and compacting to be loved by a girlfriend who should be dropped into space. Mm-hmm. And it's not like Ji-won was consistently mean to her about shit. She would just make little statements about what they, as a couple, did or did not like. With such authority that it felt like the law. Yeah. It was some manipulative-ass behavior, and it dulled my shine.
Some gaslighty shit.
Yeah, it would just be like, oh, well, we don't care for movies like that. And it's like, I can speak for myself. You don't like that, but maybe I'm, like, fine with it. Or, like, maybe I like it, or maybe I'm just, chill about it.
I can't imagine pretending to know what you like. Like, you tell me what you like, and I still sometimes feel like I miss the mark. Because I feel like I am a bottom feeder lobster who got with, like, a whale that is at the top of the food chain.
Same.
And is super intelligent with that big brain and then that ambrosia you spit up that makes perfume. You're really cool. And then I'm just this little clinging lobster like, let me eat the barnacles off your belly, babe.
Stop.
I love the little barnacles on your belly.
Stop it.
But no, seriously. Like, I know you, but goddamn, you wouldn't catch me going like, well, we don't love the Mountain Dew in this house.
That's a damn lie.
Yeah, because you would kill for Mountain Dew.
I wouldn't kill for Mountain Dew.
You might.
But I'd commit some other sort of crime for it.
You'd commit a crime. Point is, like, just like that assumptive, like, we don't do that. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's shitty fucking behavior to speak for your partner that way. Now, okay, wait. Caveat. If we're at a restaurant and they left the pickles off my food, you can speak up for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to.
Yeah, and I will. Like, I'm the one who doesn't mind talking at the drive-thru or talking to the restaurant or being like, excuse me, you put bananas in this and my lover is allergic to bananas. Fix it.
Like, that's fine behavior, but doing it as a subtle, like, changing somebody's, behavior kind of thing, that's super fun.
Changing someone's will?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay, I saw this before in another comic, and I thought it was a very good example of, like, people putting their weird shit on people, like, like what they expect. Mm-hmm. This guy's dating a girl for the first time, and it's this whole, like, you are just now in middle school, and you're just now trying dating. Mm-hmm. So, like, they're being very innocent about it. They go to an amusement park. Mm-hmm. But he's like, you shouldn't eat hamburgers. Like, you're a girl. You should eat a salad.
That thing, yeah.
Yeah. But she's, like, 11 years old. And she's like, I eat hamburgers. I'm not going to eat a salad. He throughout the entire date keeps saying little things that she should do. Yeah. And, like, she knows herself really well already as a little girl. And she's just like, this isn't going to work. This is a nice date. But I'm not the person you want to date. You want to date someone like this, and I'm like this. You just think I'm cute. And I don't think you're very cute at all, so bye. Like, she has a very cute childlike breakup with him. But they're children. They probably shouldn't be dating anyways. And, like, that kid shouldn't be dating someone who he just thought was, like, gonna suddenly, like...
change.
Like, not act like themselves. Because the reason, like, he thought she was cool was she was a tomboy little girl. Mm-hmm. So she's, like, as tall as the boys, runs around with the boys, plays baseball, plays soccer. But now I need you
to act like the princess.
But now you should wear a skirt and not eat hamburgers and not act like a kid. And so she's like, yeah, I tried to date because cool, date, wow, someone asked me out. But it was just not a thing. And it was very cool. Definitely, like... it can be done that innocent way, because, like, he probably learned a lesson that day, too, that he needs to figure out, like, did you just shit on your own, like...
girlfriend.
Shit on your own happiness,
yeah,
you
know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because what if he did prefer the tomboy girl, but he's just suggesting all this stuff because, he thinks she should do these things that he thinks girls should do. So, like, it's a good lesson either way. But, like, I like stuff like that. It's great. Good journey stuff, Yeah.
And Mai's journey isn't crazy dramatic, but it is nice to see Mai rediscover her whimsy and to become unafraid of being ridiculously sappy. Like, she kind of reminds me of, like, the Lotion Man Reddit story when I think about her. I It's where this woman, like, she has some extra lotion on her finger, and she makes, like, a little man's face out of it, and she shows her husband, and then her husband, like, leaves the house.
I can't remember how that ended. Did he ever get better from that, or did she get a new man?
No, he didn't get better from it, because he actually was cheating on her for, like, a long time.
Oh, my God.
And so they ended up breaking up, but, like, now that woman is with somebody who loves the lotion man gimmick, and so she and her new partner, like, make a little man out of everything and just, like, have a goofy, fun time with it.
It's lotion man. It's pudding man. You know,
stuff like that. So, like, it kind of makes me think of that. Like, Mai kind of finds her partner who's willing to make little guys out of stuff.
You definitely need someone who, like, supports your weird little creative thing. Like, even if you're not, like, someone, even if you're more, like, let's say, you're more left-brained, you're more logic-minded. I think that's the logic side. But, like, I'm sure even the most logical person, like, has, like, they have an atom joke or something that, like, they can make, you know, like, oh, man, do you feel the atoms in the air today? Sure feels heavy, ha ha ha.
You should be allowed to be goofy with who you're with. Yeah.
Right.
The self-discovery dovetails quite nicely into the other thing I really liked about this comic. Using love as a guide to overcome differences. Again, this is really exemplified by Mai and Chungyeon's relationship, because they're pretty different from one another, but they, and you the reader, kind of don't notice because loving each other overshadows those differences.
Mm-hmm.
They consistently make choices that make each other happy rather than worrying about how out of character or out of their comfort zone those actions might be. Which is the exact opposite of Mai and Jiwon's failed coupling. You know, because everything about Jiwon is a foil to Chungyeon. Their attitudes, their relationships, the way they communicate difficulties, their support for Mai, it all seems similar on the surface, but their actions are very different.
Yeah, so Jiwon is definitely like, I'm supporting you on the surface, and maybe because it looks good, but I don't mean it.
Yeah, but when things get a little bit awkward, or when it's not, or I no longer feel good about it, like everything's at her whim, basically. Nothing about Mai's feelings really matter. It's all about her first. But with Chungyeon, she really means it. She's, like, honestly and earnestly excited for Mai at all times, and really does want to support her. And that becomes one of her main focuses, even when she's got her own stuff going on.
Goodness.
And then there's Chanmi. She has both a self-discovery journey and makes decisions out of love. She has a rough start, and I won't spoil too much, but she figures her shit out and makes some excellent choices by the end of Season 1. She's great, to me, too, because her journey continues into Season 2, where she continues to be an oblivious straight girl, but also transforms herself into an even better person.
That's nice. Like, again, I gave Chunmi a hard time, but real life has taught me to aggressively not like homophobic people.
True, yeah.
Like, it's just, I bristle at it. It is a form of, like, safety. I don't trust you if you're homophobic. It's just what it is. It's for my own personal safety. But I'm always happy to hear if someone changes their ways.
You will cheer Chanmi's journey because it's such a... It makes sense that she does what she does because she's being honest to herself, but so many people run away from trying to be honest or run away from being virtuous about a situation and choose just to like insulate themselves and be like, well, I can't be wrong kind of thing. So her journey, I think, is very special. Is one of the things that really kept me in this comic because it was cute enough and fine, but I did worry about Chanmi's role and the stance that she takes. I'm like, okay, no, you fucking got me. Because that I did not expect that at all, and that was actually kind of beautiful.
Yeah, because, like, I believe you when you said that she's going to get better. But right now, I'm in my, girl, you need to hurt a little bit phase.
True.
Like,
yeah, I get
I'll comfort you after you learn a real life's lesson, honestly.
Yeah.
Because the amount of ignorant people I've met in my life who've never had an emotional hurt before, and I'm not saying, like, I want them to have the worst thing happen to them.
Yeah.
But I want them to have someone reject them for something that they can't control.
Yes. Everybody, either you learn empathy and you are a master at it, which is usually not the case, or you have to go through some level of hardship to really understand other people.
And that's, like, what I feel like I've had to deal with, like, homophobic people I've met.
Sure.
Where it's, like, they had to learn rejection. And, like...
Yeah.
And it had to be for something they could not control.
Yeah.
And, like, they had to see how that felt for them to suddenly be like, oh, shit.
It happens with race a lot, too. Where it's like, well, that couldn't have happened to you, or I don't believe, I can't empathize with you, or whatever. It's like, right.
Holy shit.
Because you've never had somebody single you out for something that you can't control.
Right.
That is an inherent part of you, and deal with that. And so when it does happen, they're devastated. It's like, yeah, because that sucks.
Yeah.
But you got to pick your shit up and keep going.
There's that woman who used to do the courses where she would like have like black and white adults come in to do these courses.
Oh,
and she would treat all the white people as terrible as the black people were treated.
I cannot remember her fucking name, but I know that's her thing.
Yeah,
that's what she does.
Was good.
Yeah.
Like, because like you're watching all these white people go like, why is this happening to me? And I'm like, gee, I don't know. It sure does happen to all these like black people, Hispanic people,
sucks,
Indian
right?
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy crap. Damn, thought that lady was interesting.
Yeah. But again, I love a story where a couple grows and improves as individuals together, and this comic is no different. But I appreciate that all of the main players in the story are doing that as like a friend group. It's nice to see, and I'm impressed with the author for showing how each of them positively impacts one another. Mm-hmm. So it's not just the couple growing, but like their friends also cause them to like have shifts in their behavior and grow forward. So it made it like
I really hope the adult story where the adult had his students print some heinous shit, I hope that gets resolved. Like, I don't know if it does. I'd really like it to, but it might not, unfortunately, just because that's the real world. There's always going to be some kind of jerk behind the scenes, like, encouraging, like, really bad negative thinking.
Yeah.
But, like, I would like if that got resolved. We'll see.
I also just appreciate how light everything is. It's not that there aren't serious issues that the characters come across. Like, obviously, there's homophobia, manipulative exes, company layoffs, etc. But they're written like bumps in the road, not life enders. It helps that Yeongol draws 1 million sight gags per page. The art style is pretty relaxed and simple, but it's so she can put as much effort as possible into being silly.
It's very funny. Like, that bird. Oh my gosh, he was so funny looking.
Like, I knew when she drew Mai and Soo-hee as Simpsons characters that things were only going to get goofier.
Yeah, I saw that. I was gonna ask who those were. That's funny.
Yeah, it's like Homer choking Bart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
So many panels look like they should be memes. The choices she makes really just adds to the enjoyment and keeps this comic feeling kind of cozy. This is just such a fun and easygoing manhwa. It mixes slice of life with coming of age and throws in a little bit of relationship drama from some bad lesbians. It's funny as fuck, too. It's a sort of story that manages to be low stakes and deeply engaging in a way that's difficult to achieve. It's not the greatest tale of an age, but a story that you can't wait to talk to your friends about. And that's just as good. So, if you'd like to have a silly, gay, heartwarming time, Ring My Bell is for you. You can read it on Tapas. It contains bad exes, mild manipulation, homophobia, very mild violence, religion, derogatory, one shitty boyfriend, and oblivious straight people.
I'm adding my own trigger for, like, that teacher's poor misbehavior. I don't care if it's a throwaway mention. Fuck that teacher for steering these young people in the wrong direction. So, bad teacher. I'm adding that in there.
Fair. You can find Yeongol on Twitter at Life is Salmon. That's LifeIsSalnon.
Now, if that's not the cutest fucking username I've ever heard, holy shit.
I love her. She has not ceased writing lesbians and has a few shorter comics out, but only Happiness Rides a Broomstick has been translated and not officially. Fingers crossed will get picked up soon, though.
Cool.
Yeah, because I think Happiness Rides a Broomstick, I believe, is being licensed on Lazen Korea, so I'm really hoping that they'll translate it and give it to America.
Nice.
So I think it's at, like, chapter 30 or something like that, and that's normally... Once you read a season's worth in, then they normally are like, okay, we'll go ahead and
we'll
translate
start picking it up.
So, you know, pray about it. Pray very hard. And then, of course, it is time for your whole rating.
All right. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
It's definitely, like, it struck me in a lot of ways. It's touched on a lot of things that, like, I'm sensitive about that I forgot I was sensitive about. So it was like, oh, cool, here's that fun reminder.
Yeah.
So I probably was a little more all over this place on this review. But again, life be hard as a queer person.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of emotional stuff that, like, there are several points where it's like, I'm having to hold back tears because I'm having an emotion about it.
Yeah.
So that sounds like a good comic to me. Anything that can make me that emotional is, like, cool. But you're also not always ready for that.
True.
And honestly, just because, like, again, I'm tired of mean homophobic straight people, that's probably where my minus is. Because it's just like, I don't want to deal with that right now. I don't want that in my life. So, 9 out of 10. But everything else sounds really good. And honestly, it probably deserves a 10 out of 10 for, like, being so good and emotive. But with how my feelings are right now, 9 out of 10. Because I'm just like, fuck you.
Totally fair. The homophobia comes at you fast. Like, it's funny at first, and then it gets a little bit dodgy, and then it comes back to being kind of more of a funny anecdote.
Yeah.
But it is a thing that happens, so I put it as a warning as well.
Yeah.
Because not everyone's ready to handle that every day. Sometimes you can, like, read it and burst through it, but I'm telling you that it becomes such a footnote later that that's why I would push forward with this one. So I'm letting you know right now, it just becomes kind of a funny situation.
No, and I really do like hearing about straight people changing their minds about, like, gay people, but I'm just tired of always being part of their lesson.
Sure, yeah. Well, for more whole and whole-related activities, you can find us on Tumblr and Bluesky at whole-chat. To send us something informative or whole-tingling, use whole.chat.69@gmail.com. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Tell your dad. Kiss your dad.
Are you gonna suggest they kiss him on the mouth?
I didn't say on the mouth. Just like give your dad a little kiss if he's being a good dad. Just
edit all that out.
Just
Good Lord.
please share, like, subscribe, comment, whatever. It lets us know that you're enjoying this, and it makes me kick my little feet in the air.
That is
true.
true.
Like hee hee hee. Well, thank you all so much for listening, and tighten up.
Tighten up.